March, 4 constitutional amendments will be on the ballot, and it will be up to you to decide their fate in the next election. Colin Vidros joins me now in the studio with more on these amendments. Colin, what do voters need to know?
Well, Johnny, Louisiana law requires a vote of the people to decide if these 4 proposed constitutional amendments will be added to that state constitution. Now, there are 4 amendments that will be passed that, if passed, will be added to that constitution. Here's a look at what that means for you. The March 29th election will have 4 proposed amendments that will become part of the Louisiana Constitution if those amendments receive enough votes for yes.
There's three ways to change the Constitution. You can have a regular amendment, you can do a whole constitutional convention, and then you can rewrite an article of the Constitution.
Steve Procopio is the president of the Public Affairs Research Council of Louisiana, commonly known as PAR Louisiana. PAR serves as a good government research organization and watchdog, putting research into fiscal issues, transparency in government, how to improve education, and many others.
We were actually founded in 1950, so this is our 75th anniversary. And we were founded actually in the Bentley Hotel in downtown Alexandria. That was to make sure that we were known as a statewide organization, not a Baton Rouge organization or a New Orleans organization.
First up, Amendment 1 would grant the Louisiana Supreme Court the authority to punish out-of-state lawyers for unethical legal practices in the state.
At a really high level, this sort of reaffirms the Supreme Court's ability to discipline out-of-state lawyers. That the Supreme Court already believes that have that ability, but it will put it in the Constitution. And then the other part is establishing specialty courts. So we already have this at sort of the local or district level or a parish level. Things like drug courts, which are the most common form. This would actually expand it to allow the legislature to form regional or statewide court.
Article 2 would revise Article 7 of the Constitution, including revisions to lower the maximum income tax rate. This measure was part of House Bill 7, a 100-plus page bill the legislature passed during the special tax session in November 2024.
This is rewriting Article 7, which is the tax and spending article. So that is a lot that is in there. How it hits each individual person is going to be different. How it hits each business is going to be different. It's really going to depend on the nuances.
Amendment 3 would give state lawmakers the authority to determine which felony crimes 17-year-old offenders commit to then be tried as an adult. That was Senate Bill 2 during the tax session, authored by Cenla State Senator Heather Cloud.
This is going to take 16 crimes that are listed in the Constitution, that if you commit one of those crimes, even if you're under the age of 17, you can be tried as an adult. Not necessarily that you would be, but this amendment would take those crimes out and leave it to the legislature to define those crimes. So it wouldn't be up to the Constitution anymore. I think people are concerned because this would it could potentially broaden the number of things that juveniles could be tried as an adults for.
Finally, Amendment 4 provides for the use of the earliest election date to fill judicial vacancies. This was written by Cenla State Senator Jay Morris as Senate Bill 5 in the tax session.
The legislature moved us to a closed primary system where Republicans are only going to sit Republicans and Democrats versus Democrats. They moved that to us last year. But part of doing it is going to add usually another election cycle. So you'll have the party primary, then you'll have the party primary runoff, and then you'll have the actual election. So you'll have 3 where you would only have had 2 before. And that expands the timeline. However, for judicial seats, when there's a vacancy, you have to fill it within 12 months. Well, there's a lot of cases, particularly in Supreme Court, since they're going to be under this party primary system, you probably can't meet that 12 months. So in some ways, this is a technical fix, so that would give the filling of vacancies for judges a little bit more time. You try to get it done within 12 months, but if not, you can go a little over that.
For each of these amendments, only a vote of yes would make them state law. Get the amendments and an independent review of the proposed additions to the Constitution. You can head over to KALB.com. Early voting begins next month with Election Day on March 29th. Johnny, we'll send it back to you.